You smell it.
Oh my god, I can't.
Are you burning your leg hair?
Yeah.
Burn a lot of it off.
It smells.
Olivia!
Learn how to spell, you freaking idiot.
Yes
Is
or no?
no.
No.
Please don't like laugh or turn the camera to your face and be like, "You're so funny."
This is serious.
So today we're gonna talk about something pretty important, in my opinion, and it's a pretty pressing issue. Musical hierarchy. The dynamic of today's music is very, very screwed up in many different ways. I just don't like it. I don't like how it is right now. The economy is not doing well. So, prologue, a little background, and kind of a way to compare what I'm going to be talking about. The Office, everyone knows about the show. I'm sure everyone watching has different opinions. You're probably going to be in one of these phases. So, phase one is someone who loves The Office. They think it's funny. They watch it. They eat chips and salsa. And they think it's hilarious, unironically. You know what I mean? Like, they're a casual viewer, right? Next, we have phase two. People who say The Office is garbage, it's not funny, and they make fun of phase one people who say they love The Office. These people might be worse. These people are very likely to be worse because they somehow think that they're better by making a very challenging statement that The Office is bad. Okay? Phase three is kind of like I would say right now it's like the meta. It's like what most people are. It's kind of like, who cares? It's a TV show. You like it, you don't like it, right? That's probably the most sane person. They've got the most things going for them. They've got a realistic college major, you know. Number four, this is a huge step up from number three, the person who doesn't care. This person, The Office is a mind-bending psychological Freudian masterpiece, okay? They think it's so, like they're thinking 10 steps ahead of everyone else. They think it's some kind of untapped potential, unexplored gold mine, right? Phase 5 is just a nihilist. They don't care either way. But they watch it and the show makes them depressed because it's The Office, you know, it's not funny. And it's like, is this really all there is to life? Phase 6 and up, undetermined. That's probably going to be in the next year or two. We'll see. You can kind of see all the different phases, how dynamic changes, and that's what the next thing is. These things change, determined by the political climate, nuances, popularity especially, it's bolded. Because the way someone looks at something, like The Office or music or anything, has a lot to do with how many other people watch it. But again, cycles, changes, you know. So the relation to music is huge. That's why I brought it up. The current state, I'm just going to read it off the slide. The current state of music is good and bad as a result of internet and social media and screenagers and TikTok and people with FOMO and people who like attention and people extreme uses of internet porn by young people, which nothing has done more to ruin a generation. I stand by that. I think it should be illegal. But anyway, plastic and much more. Very few types of people watch music. Listen to music because
I watch music.
Everything is really marginalized. Like, there's some outsiders here and there, but for the most part, it's very, very easy to categorize people who listen to music. Like, it's you see their music taste or you see who they are, you can most likely tell who they are. Like if you're, you know. So here's the music economy. So the music taste itself is an economy right now, which is not a good thing. We don't want that, but it's what it is. Maybe it's always been like that, but this is just from my last 10 years of listening to music, whatever. Similarly to The Office, there's phases. So again, phase 1, people who listen to Nav, Pop Smoke, or AJR. Everyone, phases 2 through like 5 might think phase 1 people are idiots, but phase 6 might think that phase 1 people are actually geniuses in the top 0.010% of intellect. So phase 2 then is like normal people. They were a drummer in a band for like a month, stuff like that. They listen to Mac DeMarco, Tame Impala, indie, everything is psych, everything's psych, indie, psych folk. Finds a new relevant indie band each month. Also Tyler, the Creator, and Beatles. Phase 3. So this is diving more into what most people are again. It's gotten some more obscure things, but they're still losers. People who listen to Grimes or other garbage. They make fun of people who like Mac DeMarco, despite them probably being the happiest on this list. because they don't really care and just go through the life listening to whatever they like. And they really care about other people's music taste. They really care what other people listen to, what they think they listen to. They really dislike people who listen to most general rap. They really love Anthony Fantano as well. They're getting into him. They've been into him. Somewhere in between. Phase 4, this is another huge jump up. Phase 4 is a classical music person. This is like a huge thing, maybe in a few months, maybe a year or two. It's going to be revealed and it's going to be a whole other cycle. But these are people who listen to... They listen to like music because they're music people. And they... so here we go. Like, they got Swans, Velvet Underground, Daughters, Kanye for some reason. No one would believe Anthony Fantano. They think he's for losers and 12-year-olds, which probably is, but whatever. Phase 5, moving up a huge another step. This is like, you're kind of ascended. You're in the top, 5% of people. Now, who's to say which phase is better, of course, but these people realize that the musical industry is absolutely going down the drain and listens to bossa nova music and obscure classical pieces from Liechtenstein. These people no longer care what other people listen to, what they listen to, as long as they're happy. Very similarly to phase 1 and maybe some 2. So the best, happiest people, probably maybe the most intellectual, are on the extreme ends typically, and the middle is just garbage. So phase 6, you take 2 blow dryers, 1 in each ear, and you just turn them on high. Okay, so here's a typical...
This is #1 champion sound. Yeah, Estelle, we about to get down.
Typical music wall of everyone. I'm sure you know someone who is showing you this and they're like, here's my music wall.
Oh, that's so weird.
Here's my music wall. I spend a few hours listening to these each day. And then, there's so many more. There's so many more. Again, there's more obscure stuff. There's whatever. You know a lot of people who think this is their only wall. This is mine. I've claimed these albums. You get the point. But you'll see a lot of these everywhere. The same ones over and over and over and over and over again. Commenting oh, let me see yours. And it's the same thing. Okay, so this is this is the lower phases, but maybe 2 or 3. People who want to get into music, so they buy a Strat. They play it for a month. Put it away. Sell it on Facebook Marketplace. You got black Strats, you got light blue ones. If you're watching this, you're probably going to buy one eventually. Then you'll move on to something easier like bass. I don't know, maybe drums if you want to go that low. But then, no, I'm just kidding, drums are fun.
That's so weird how you own that.
So fun.
Next we have...
Can you not touch me?
Next we have... So, despite thinking that just because you listen to My Bloody Valentine and shoegaze, just because you listen to this heat... Now, I'm not knocking my friend Holden. I love Holden, and he probably introduced me to everything I listen to, and I love him. But this heat, as shown by this iceberg picture I found on Google Images, is towards the top of the iceberg, including with Nick Drake and everything. Of course, people who listen to AC/DC, I didn't even see that until earlier. But, Gorillaz, Katy Perry and Taylor Swift might actually be at the bottom. If you're, again, the 2 phases at the top and bottom can kind of correlate together. Even though you listen to this heat, which is one of the most obscure albums I know anyone knows, it's, again, in the middle. DNA, Shoo Shoo, these are all middle. So there's always people, the next slide, ready? You get the point.
This is #1 champion sound. Yeah, Estelle, we about to get down.
This goes back to the other slide. This is someone keeping the music they have from this person. This is doing that. So I don't like to use those kind of terms, but it applies. So you don't want to be in the middle of the sandwich. You want to be on one of the extremes. Many people are in the middle. Again, they listen to shitty music that they think is obscure and good, but you want to either be obscure to the point where only it has 1 stream on Spotify, or just kind of in the mix. Do whatever you want. Okay. So Grown Ups 2 soundtrack, Mall Food, Fila 2006 t-shirt with crazy design. If you get it, you get it. It's not from anything, but it's. So full circle, most people, like I said, the 2 phases connect. People return to certain music when they're jaded with extremely experimental or somewhere in between. So you might find someone listening to dark, concrete, ambient, industrial, returning to Katy Perry eventually. So that's pretty much it. There's a hierarchy. Do whatever you want. Listen to whatever you want. But just be aware there's an economy, and it's pretty bad. Just enjoy music. Do whatever you want. Transition.
This was really, that was something.
Did you like that?
That was something.
Where am I?
Where are you?
Where am I?
You're in my crib.